So, hello, Dr. Churchill.
Thank you very much. Hello, how are you, Austin?
I'm fine, thank you. It's been a minute, yeah.
I know, right?
But thank you for always gracing, for always coming through, for always willing to participate on these live chats and,
Yes.
willing to actually, educate people, tell people what you think, and share your knowledge to anyone else.
Mm.
So, our theme is maybe for our new listeners. Maybe we'll tell them who you are, what you do. Yes, just a brief
Okay.
introduction about yourself.
Thank you very much, Austin. It's always great to be in Sotika live chat. My name is Dr. Churchill Saoke. I'm a governance consultant and a lecturer at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology with a niche in areas of development and economic empowerment and issues to do with the young people.
I don't know if you can hear me. I kind of lost you a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of lost you. But now I'm back. I think there was something wrong with my internet connection.
Okay, so I just said my name is Dr. Churchill Saoke. I am a lecturer, consultant, and a champion for development and economic empowerment for
Hmm.
with a lot of interest in young people and just and yes, I've been involved in a couple of things. Other than my career in lecturing, I've been involved in issues of development and issues of consultant on government on governance and peace building. Yes.
That is really great. So I want us just to kick start on our discussion, whereby it is basically how to embrace change because there's so much happening. You know, um, there's the COVID that came, the pandemic that came. There's now the fuel prices. Yeah, 2022 is our election year, and there's so much happening in our country, our economy, and what are the changes that people really need to understand when it comes with mostly on the finances aspect, like what changes are here that people should actually be on the key lookout.
I think, well, you see, the pandemic that has come, it got our our world in 20 right from the year 2020 all through to now. It's one that
Mm-hmm.
has brought unprecedented issues around humanity, on lives and on livelihoods. People have
Mm-hmm.
lost jobs, businesses have gone down, and you see, as a result of that, even supply chains have been cut off. You look at the global economy, there were times when there was no there were moments when you could not even you couldn't there were moments when you couldn't even bring your goods from other parts of the world. So I think it has
Mm-hmm.
brought unprecedented issues which we cannot overlook. And I think that it is incumbent on any organization or any individual to find ways of adapting to the changes. The changes are relate from those that come as a result of the lifestyle changes, how to do
Mm-hmm.
business. Now many of the businesses are now going into e-commerce, and
Yeah.
how do we adapt to this? You see, there are areas that there are lockdowns. How do businesses
Mm-hmm.
and how do people adapt to the fact that you can no longer do your business in a 24-hour economy? So there are a lot of unprecedented changes that have come, which individuals and institutions and even businesses must seek to adapt and underline even their financial planning too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
is quite because I mean a lot of things have changed. It was just not, I wouldn't compare like the way we were in 20, like 2 years back. Things have actually changed. People have adapted to new ways. Now people are wearing masks every single time.
I
Business are
know,
shutting
right?
down before 10. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's
Yeah.
so much, so much. And you
Mm,
know, this, in as much as maybe this is not right, but I think these are really affected people even when it comes to their mental illness. There's so many cases of depression because things have changed, and
mm,
one of the things that maybe lead to that is finances.
mm,
Maybe and we know Kenyans are spending they have this spending habit. They like spending and they
mm,
like living that good life. So out
mm,
of now all things that you have mentioned, all these things that have brought all this change, what should
mm,
Kenyans do to live a life they always want? Or
mm,
what are those things that as individual or even at an individual level, what can you do so that
mm,
you can go back to normalcy or what the norm was, and maybe even live a life better than the way
mm.
previous. Yeah.
I think it is important for right now for first to begin to align financial planning, our individual or institutional or even family financial planning, with the
Mm-hmm.
view that there is likely, the pandemic is not predictable.
Mm-hmm.
The times are not predictable, and you are not sure about what the future will be, especially with regards to the impact it might have on economies. So it is
Mm.
important therefore to have budget allocation that are just
Sorry.
that
Mm-hmm.
will just be helpful to cushion yourself in times of pandemics or in times when there are storms. So I think that some cushioning mechanism, or what I will call an allocation to help you in moments of uncertainties would be very important. The other thing, and this could come as a result of just aligning savings, aligning your savings. Perhaps you may have been saving for buying a land, or you may have been saving to do construction, or you may have been saving to take your children to school in the future. Maybe it is now important to think of saving for the future pandemics that are likely to come. All right. It might also be important perhaps even to think about other aspect of diversifying your income streams. If you are employed and think this is something that we have always highlighted. If you are employed, maybe it is high time perhaps that you look beyond the payslip and seek other ways of getting money that can help you to sustain yourself and today, and also sustain yourself in the future.
I've gotten actually three main things, which is, the savings, having cushion money, and maybe looking for something extra than your paycheck. That's like creating a side hustle. And I
Yes.
believe when it comes to cushion money, this is whereby people have the emergency fund. And, the emergency fund is very good, whereby, in case anything happens, you'll have 6 months of survival, which is very,
Mm,
very important to an individual
mm,
because you avoid going to bad debt, you avoid, borrowing money when you need not.
mm,
So that is very, very, I really like the way you've really emphasized on the cushion money. And also when it comes to
mm,
saving, you save as little as you can. And,
mm,
creating something extra income. They say there's someone who said having one source of income is poverty. You're
mm,
a poor person.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
So, out of all things that you're saying, ways, how to improve or how to ensure that someone lives, a life they've always wanted. What are the new technologies around us that make, our financial status easy or, seamless?
Well, you see, when you look at, I would of course give credit to some of your applications like the Sotica. That is one of the ways in which people can take advantage of. There are also other various money mobile banking mechanisms that can be used. And I think
Mhm.
it's just now about an issue of creating a discipline around, it's creating a discipline for these saving streams and saving platforms like Sotika,
Mhm.
like, the other ones that are provided for by the other mobile subscribers, and even other the banking industry,
Mhm.
being more disciplined in the saving and being more disciplined in the spending, because like you can incorporate aspects of lock savings. You can, because sometimes spending can be a big issue, especially when you want to when you are not disciplined. And the the mobile banking has a way of making money extremely liquid if you are not a good spender, and you might
Mhm.
actually end up spending so much money. So the discipline is important. If you are not able to get disciplined, then maybe you use some of the features that those applications have, like lock savings, to help you to keep the money intact for a specific period of time. And maybe perhaps even the other issues is that money is not money until it has value, and the value it gives it
Mhm.
is by investing in property, or investing it in something that is able to regenerate the funds. It will not make sense
Mhm.
for you to have 10 million in a bank account or 10 million in an app account if that
Mhm.
10 million is not generating itself, or is not regenerating
Mhm.
any more money. It will be useless in 10 years. So the only way it will be useful is if it is put into something that will be worth more than 10 million in future. Yes.
That is very, very. You've said money is not money until it has value, and you can achieve this value through the investment products that
Yes.
people have.
Exactly.
Well, that is,
Exactly.
I think that is one of the key highlights I'll keep that you've said. Money is not money until it has value. Because money, I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and they were actually telling me money is just not money. And if you
Mm.
treat money with respect, it will actually treat you with respect. It will reciprocate what you're doing it to it. And the way you've
Absolutely.
said about yes, the way you've actually said about discipline, having financial
Mm.
discipline is something it's not easy. It's really hard, and it
Mm.
comes with a lot of hard work. So what do you think
Mm.
are how do you think, other than the way you've said having lock accounts, if you can't actually have this, if you can act, if you cannot instill this discipline on you, do you think there are any other ways whereby someone can effectively, or easily achieve this um financial discipline?
Mm. Perhaps maybe other option. People, you could consider other areas around investing in, investing in shareholdings in companies
Mm-hmm.
that can give you dividends later. You can also invest the money, perhaps apart from in shareholdings, also in bonds, or you just put it in land. When you buy land will always appreciate, and that
Mm-hmm.
money the money that you put the land in, you will not buy land today and sell it tomorrow. It's it's it's
Definitely you
it's
can do
money.
that.
It's money that is locked. So even if it is locked just for 1 year, then
Mm-hmm.
that 1 year the money the land will have appreciated, and then you can use the money to do something else. So when you put the money in some physical property, then it
Mm-hmm.
appreciates its value. It also locks your spending.
Yes.
If you have bought any other thing, you might not have the money in cash, but you have the money in substance. And that substance, you can dispose it off at any given time when you are in strain. and
Mm-hmm.
and then and then when you dispose it off at that time, you can be able to use it to offset any other issues that you have. My father used to tell me that, when you buy land today, it's way better than even buying a matatu, because
Mm-hmm.
the matatu will give you money today, and
Depreciate.
it depreciates, and well after some time, you will not be in comparison with somebody who bought land at a similar cost, and is disposing it off. So those are ways you can be able to lock up your savings in a bigger way, of course. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because I think for you to actually be in a step further, it only means you have to attain or participate in things that appreciate value. And yeah,
Mm,
I think it's more of the appreciation value that you look at. Because
mm.
if you I know most people, when you give them, and I think I'll do that question whereby, would you choose land, or would you choose those high end cars, and you're being given
Mm.
for free? So which one would you choose? And I'm very sure most people would actually go for the
I
car, if I
know,
am not wrong.
I know.
But if you look at the bigger picture, you could have taken the land and iletu na matatu, iko tu sawa, because the
Absolutely,
car has a
absolutely.
depreciate. Yes.
Because
Um,
when you buy the land today, you buy it on, you get the title tomorrow, it appreciates with over a million.
Definitely. You can even actually sell it double or even thrice of what
Or even or even even
the original price.
or even if you don't want to sell it, you can use it to get facility from the bank and use it to develop something.
Yeah, you can even start your own house building there, rental places.
Absolutely,
There's always
absolutely.
a way. There's so many things you can use to have a land. So
Mm,
as, as you know, in Sotika, I would really wanted
mm,
to keep this conversation really short, so that
mm,
when the once people come in and view, they'll be in a position to actually listen to the whole of it. So
mm.
just a quick you know that Sotika, we have the aspect of passive savings. And I think there's okay, Miacha, there's like really noise at the background. But in Sotika, we actually advocate for the passive saving is one of the ways you can instill, or you can lead to a way of saving money. So let me just do an overview with your own thoughts. What do you think about passive saving?
I think it's something that is important because you see, as you go through what we call a financial discipline and a financial lifestyle, it is something that
Mm-hmm,
does not come once. You do not make
mm-hmm,
your 1 million the first day. But when you
mm-hmm,
make your first 1 million, it is much easier to make another million and another million and another million, and life goes on like that. So you see, the question of passive saving, I think it's very important because that is a very good initial point that any person who wants to save even just 1 shilling can do it. And when
mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
save
cause
1 shilling tomorrow, you save another 1 shilling. Then within 1 month you have 3 shillings. Within 1 year you have 360 shillings. Within 5 years, how much do you have? Within 5 years you have almost 7,200 shillings. What can you do with that money? 7,200 shillings is enough for you to buy a shaving machine that can help you to open a barber shop. So you see the cumulativeness in that passive saving, when you look at it on a long-term projection, it is something that ends up
mm-hmm.
being having a very huge impact. But when you look at it on a short-term goal, then you will not see its value. Okay. And the value of saving
Yeah.
is when you look, the value of saving is when you look at not today. You look at it
Mm-hmm.
over a long period of time. And you just begin to say, you know what, I'm committing something that I can be able to commit sustainably. You don't commit something
Mm.
that will make you to feel a pinch. Commit something that you will not feel, and the moment you commit something that you will not feel, you will forget about it. And it will, if it
Yeah.
is something that is it's check off, or something that you are always checking there every month or every day or every week, within a short time you will look and say, how did I reach here? I getting it. How did I reach here? And then you
Yeah.
you end up
Yeah.
realizing that okay, my life has actually been good without these 10 shillings per day. So
Mm-hmm.
why don't I just then leave it to be there for the rest of the time? And then over time,
Mm.
you realize that the cumulativeness of the 10 shillings, or the cumulative of the 100 shillings, or the 1,000 shillings has become so huge that it becomes a story of inspiration.
Yeah, cause like yesterday we had a we call it the Wednesday live, and our theme was be your own bank, and we were having one of the speakers, Gideon, telling us or actually showing us the reality of how you can make 10,000 Kenya shillings, how you can turn 10,000 Kenya shillings to 1.7 million within no short time. Within
Absolutely.
3 years, you're able to make that kind of
Absolutely.
money. Yes,
Absolutely.
which was very, yes, which was very, I was very keen on it, and I was like, wow, usidharau pesa kidogo kidogo hivi, because even at that 1,000
Absolutely.
shilling can even make you to, yes. So that was,
And
thank you
and
for
let me
the,
t-
okay, for
and
us,
let me
as you
tell
know,
you
we,
something just as I
yeah,
finish. Let me tell you something just as I
uh-huh,
finish. Time
mm-hmm,
moves very fast, and I was speaking something with a friend of mine that it is very difficult sometimes to account for time.
mm,
I mean, Corona just began in 2020, and it is
yeah, around
it's
April.
just a few months. It's just a few months, and it will be 2 years. And I mean, 2 years. It's
Wow,
it's just the
wow.
other day.
Time,
So it moves so fast that if you are able to take advantage of the cumulativeness of
mm,
time and do the small nitty-gritties and the small things, you'll realize that you can actually achieve big milestones in finance,
mm-hmm.
in the financial discipline of savings.
And I think, correct me if I am wrong, but sometimes I feel like when it comes to finances, as Kenyans, we have trust, we have trust issues when it comes to finances. Because if right now I can tell someone who is just in campus, or the people who have just joined campus, if I can start telling them to start saving up for their retirement, they
No, they
think
wouldn't.
that is,
They wouldn't.
I'm
They
just not
wouldn't.
making sense.
No,
Yeah, they're not seeing the
no,
bigger picture
no, they
to
don't.
start. Do you know, like, if sometimes I sit down and I'm like, if the time I joined camp, yeah, exact. hmm And I think it's just until people just understand, and they really do not understand, and
They don't.
they
And
really
there was
have
a
to
time
have those platforms whereby they're talking about how it's supposed to be, making the right decision.
I really wished that they could listen to some of these things because you see, I
Yeah,
was.
exactly. And I was
Uh,
feeling like, uh-huh.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we're coming up with a series of, it will be hosted by one of our friends or our partners called Dennis, and he will be teaching us people or making people understand the financial literacy, and I think people will actually learn more, and yeah, people will actually trust the fact that money is there, and we can actually move milestone. And the way, like you said, I think that this is something I will not forget in a very long time. That money is not money until it has value. So thank you so much for that. And anyway, that is like, it was just a really short discussion, and thank you so much, Nona. You are stuck at traffic and you had just to pull out and pull over just to have this conversation. And that is a lot of commitment. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Asante, Asante. Thank you very
And
much. I appreciate it, and it's always nice being here. And we
okay,
hope that everything people will always understand and listen to what we say. Thanks.
yes. Okay, sawa sawa. You have yourself a lovely day. We will catch up some other time.
Asante. Thank you.
Welcome.